Do you have four people that I could call right now? They would drop whatever they're doing and come if you needed them. That's the topic of today's chat about longevity. I'm Dr. Kara from Cultivate Fertility, and I love that question. So sometimes I ask people that in my interviews with patients, because it gives me a really good idea of their social support network. Because if somebody pauses, and I hope you're listening to this thinking, of course I have four people that I could, you could call right away if I needed them and they would come running. But honestly, in asking people that question, that I learned from another doctor who's older and has been practicing, double the amount of years of my 19. Um, they pause and they sort of look at you like, oh. And so it's a really important thing. So thinking about that, like, do I have four people, I'm in some compromised kind of health position or whatever it is, like where, maybe you're sick and you need to ride somewhere. It's going to be kind of a pain. It's not like a fun thing. You're not inviting them to a party. Would they come running for you? Like, no questions asked. Okay, I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing. I'm going to come there and help you out. It really is a thing that if you don't have those, it could actually prolong your life if you get them. So this comes down to a value system of, do we care about our relationships enough to build really close friendships, have really good family systems? And that actually is one of the things that we learn by looking at people who live the longest. They do this. They cultivate really healthy relationships. They put the energy in. They make sure that they're actually listening to their people, their loved ones. They put their loved ones first. They're not in a culture of overworking and it's all about me and I don't have time for you. They're not like that. These people who live to be the longest and have the best health in life actually care about people, and they take the time and they're deliberate in their relationships. So taking a moment to assess that can really help your health in general. So we all sort of know these things. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't know that I understood this till really looking at the research, how much there is out there on hormone health, on inflammation, on blood sugar regulation. Literally everything going on in your body is affected by you having these close relationships. So time spent with friends, it's a really big deal to make time with friends, but we all need to put some effort into doing it, and it can like lift us up. It's very, very, very important for our health in general. And I tell my kids, this is so ridiculous, but I always tell my kids, pick your friends like a piece of fruit. You don't just let people pick you as your friends. You actually want to surround yourself with people who are rays of sunshine and are happy people and active and fun, and you love hanging out with them. Clearing out the people who bring you down, that is really important to take an assessment of it in your existence. If you talk to someone and you get off the phone and your heart's going and they cause you some stress, or they're just struggling all the time, these things are actually catchy. This is a true thing that I was reading the research on this. If you're surrounded by people who do drugs, for instance, you're more likely to do drugs, or they're drinking a lot of alcohol, you're more likely to do that. In the same vein, if they're depressed or they have thought patterns that are just like toward anxiety or toward the world is hard, I can't do it, those toxic kind of thoughts that get stuck in people's heads and go around, it's totally catchy. So you can't be around people like that. And so really looking at, what is my interaction with this person, whether it's a family member or a friend that you have, does it really help me? Sometimes true friends are not the people who just lift us up and tell us what we want to hear, right? They're the people who sort of challenge us, and they might actually annoy us here and there. That's for sure, because they're being honest with us. This brings me to one of my favorite Oprah quotes, actually. So she said about friendship, she said, lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. That is such a good piece of advice for choosing friends. So it's really about, I'm going to look around my life and I'm going to assess, who am I spending time with? are these people stuck in a rut and it's making me have that same kind of energy? Or are they always improving themselves, always seeing the possibility, always working on like fixing challenges? Or are they kind of like falling under and the language is kind of a downer and they're just bringing me down? This is a real key to health. And I think our culture doesn't support this idea, right? Our culture says, oh, we have to be polite and we have to, if someone invites us to something, we have to go to it. And we feel like we have all these obligations. That's kind of like our culture tells us this. And it also says, what are friendships about? It's like, oh, I want to go on the nice vacation with that person, or, oh, I've just been their friend forever, so I'm their friend forever. It's sort of all these things about it. But really, your friends, and hopefully they have been your friends forever, are people who evolve with you, who change with you, who have a vision of the future that you're in. Like, I would like a beach house. I would like all my friends to come to the beach house. It'd be awesome because then you get downtime with people. So in my mind, that's kind of what I want. I want, stop by, stay for a week. We can just actually have time one-on-one together, that kind of thing. And other people have other goals in their life, but it's sort of surrounding yourself with people who really want those same things and really bring you up and give you ideas and help you out. That's what true friendships do. And so there's a few kind of ideas of this, but it's an active thing. I guess that's it. That's what I want to instill in my kids when I'm talking to them about it. You choose your friends, you foster those friendships, you put the energy into it, you take the time to write the text, make the phone call, you do that, and it comes back 3,000-fold. It's just, this is how we should be training everyone and thinking about it, because we know that the health benefits are huge. So it makes us feel good, right? When you go to a fun party or you have dinner with friends, you feel good when you leave. That actually is sending signals to all your cells to express different genes, to make different signaling as far as inflammation, and you actually look younger, feel younger, etc. So this is a real thing, and it's so much fun, right? It's not following a specific diet or taking a bunch of supplements. It's just making time for the people you love. And when we look at people who live a great life, they have a meaningful life, they have these interactions, they often do volunteer work. So that's another piece of this, of like being in community is really healthy for people in general. So if you are sitting there feeling like you might be in a rut or you need a little boost, volunteer work is an amazing thing as far as getting your mindset straight, and it can really boost you up because you're helping people. Helping people is always just such a good way out for you. So I'm hoping that you can take this kind of idea of communicating with the people you love more and making sure that those relationships are really being tended. It's like tending a garden, right? You're cultivating this thing, and that's part of your whole health system of like, this is just what I do. I make sure that I see this person as often as I can, or I make time for them. So build a tribe of people. That can be really healthy for you. Hope you take some action on that today. Bye-bye.